What if I told you that just 3 vitamins, yes, only 3 could be the difference between dragging yourself through the day and waking up with the kind of energy and drive you had in your 42nd? Sounds like a stretch, right? I get it. We've all heard the hype before. Another supplement, another miracle claim. But this time, it's not about hype, it's about biology. And more importantly, it's about what your body is quietly begging for as the years go by. Hi, I'm Dr. Benjamin Cross. I've spent over 2 decades helping men in their 62nd and beyond reclaim their strength, clarity, and vitality, not by turning back the clock, but by giving their bodies what they've been missing. Here's the truth. Most men think the fatigue, the brain fog, the lack of performance in the bedroom is just aging. It's normal, they say. But what if it's not just age? What if it's a deficiency? I've seen it hundreds of times in my own clinic. A man walks in, tired of feeling like a shell of his younger self. He thinks he needs testosterone shots or a sleep study. But in reality, he's low, dangerously low on 3 critical vitamins that fuel energy, confidence, and yes, sexual performance. In today's video, I'm going to break this down for you. We'll talk about the 3 essential vitamins that are like fuel for your masculine engine, why most men over 60 are almost guaranteed to be lacking in them, and how to correct these deficiencies safely and naturally starting today. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about showing up better for your body, your relationships, and your future. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll walk away with a simple, powerful plan that could change how you feel this week. Let's talk about something that's so simple, so overlooked, and yet so powerful it could literally change how you wake up every morning. It's not a hormone therapy. It's not a magic bullet. It's a vitamin, vitamin D3. Now, before you scroll away thinking, "Oh, I already get that from the sun," I want to challenge you to stay with me. Because the truth is, over 80% of men, over 60, are deficient in D3. Not slightly, not marginally, significantly, and most of them have no idea. We've been told for years that vitamin D is for bones. It's good for preventing fractures, they say. And yes, it isn't. But that's like saying your smartphone is only good for making phone calls. It's technically true, but it's missing the point. Vitamin D3, when optimized, isn't just protecting your bones. It's fueling your masculinity, testosterone, and the D3 connection. Let me paint you a picture. A man in his 32nd feels sharp. He has drive, focus, libido, motivation, confidence. He's got testosterone, the hormone that's been called the fire in the belly, for a reason. Fast forward to his 62nd, he's slower, more tired, he doesn't feel like himself, and somewhere deep down, he's grieving that quiet loss of vitality but chalks it up to just getting older. But studies now show something incredible. Men with optimal vitamin D3 levels between 40 and 60 ng/ml have 25 to 30% higher testosterone than men who are deficient. Let that sink in. That's not a small boost. That's the difference between showing up fully or fading quietly. And the most remarkable part? This isn't about injecting hormones or taking risky meds. This is restoring a basic ingredient your body needs to make testosterone naturally. Think of it like baking bread without yeast. The flour's there, the water's there, but without yeast, nothing rises. That's what low D3 is doing to your testosterone. Circulation where it counts. But testosterone isn't the only story. Vitamin D3 is also critical for blood flow, and yes, we're talking about circulation everywhere, including where it matters most in the bedroom. In a large-scale study of over 3,000 men, those with D3 levels above 30 ng/ml showed significantly better erectile function than those below. Not because D3 is an aphrodisiac, but because it supports healthy endothelial function, the lining of your blood vessels. That means better circulation, more oxygen delivery, and improved vascular tone. Translation: you feel more alive, more capable, and more you. Why? You're likely deficient. Now you might be thinking, but I'm outside all the time. Here's where things get tricky. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at synthesizing vitamin D from sunlight. It's like your solar panels stop absorbing energy the way they used to. Add to that, most of us spend more time indoors than any generation before. If you live north of Atlanta, the sun's angle for half the year doesn't provide enough UVB rays for adequate D production. And even if you do get out in the sun, most of us are wearing sunscreen, hats, or long sleeves, which block the D3 synthesis entirely. So you could be walking in sunshine and still be running on empty. What to do about it? The first step is simple. Know your numbers. Ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy-vitamin D test. It's a standard blood test, often covered by insurance, and one of the most insightful numbers you'll ever learn. Now, here's a key point. Don't settle for normal. A lot of labs will tell you that 20-30 ng/ml is fine, but remember, we're not aiming for normal, we're aiming for optimal. The sweet spot? Between 40 and 60 nl. That's where you'll see the real benefits: improved testosterone, better energy, and better blood flow. Supplementing the right way. For most men over 60, you'll need to supplement with 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3 daily to reach and maintain optimal levels. And here's a tip that most people miss. Vitamin D3 is fat-soluble. That means if you take it on an empty stomach with just water, you're wasting your money. Take it with breakfast ideally, something that contains healthy fats. Eggs, avocado, a handful of nuts, or even a glass of whole milk. That fat helps your body absorb the D3 so it can do its job. Some men find it easiest to link their D3 with their morning routine next to their coffee, toothbrush, or wallet. Whatever works, but do it consistently. Why it matters more than ever. Here's the deeper truth. We live in a world that doesn't talk enough about quiet decline, that slow, steady fading that starts to feel inevitable. And for many men, it becomes a silent struggle. They don't feel broken, but they don't feel right either. Vitamin D3 isn't a fix-all, but it might be the missing piece, the key that unlocks everything else your body is trying to do right now. And in a time when so many men feel like they're losing ground physically, emotionally, sexually, this is a simple, science-backed step to start feeling like yourself again. There's a kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix. You know the feeling. You wake up, but your body still feels like it's dragging through wet sand. You get through the day, but your brain doesn't quite click like it used to. Words escape you. Focus slips. And somewhere, deep down, something just feels off. Most men shrug it off and say, "I'm just getting older." But what if age isn't the problem? What if your engine's still good, but you're missing the spark? Let's talk about vitamin B12, the quiet powerhouse behind your body's energy system. More than just a vitamin, it's your ignition system. Think of your body like a high-performance engine. You can have all the fuel in the world, good food, protein, carbs, even motivation, but without a spark plug, the engine doesn't start. That's B12. Vitamin B12 works at the cellular level to convert food into usable energy. It's what helps your body take fuel and actually turn it into action. Without it, nothing runs smoothly. And here's the kicker: after age 50, something starts to change inside your gut. Your stomach produces less hydrochloric acid, which you need to absorb B12 from food. Imagine having the right key, but the lock is rusted. No matter how much B12-rich food you eat, liver, beef, fish, your body just can't access it. It's not about willpower. It's about biology. The symptoms no one talks about. Now here's the tricky part. B12 deficiency doesn't show up like a broken bone or a fever. It creeps in slowly over years. You don't feel a sudden collapse. You feel a steady fade. Symptoms include that strange, persistent fatigue, no matter how much you sleep, brain fog, forgetting names, losing track mid-sentence, trouble focusing, mood swings that come out of nowhere, feeling anxious, down, or just flat. And yes, for many men, it shows up as decreased libido, even erectile dysfunction. And we dismiss all of that as just aging. But the truth is, your nervous system needs B12 to function. It's what protects your nerves, helps them communicate properly. It also plays a key role in creating red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body. Less oxygen equals less energy. Less energy equals poorer performance in everything you do. One study, 3 times the risk. There's a study that still sticks with me. It showed that men with low B12 levels were 3 times more likely to experience erectile dysfunction than those with normal levels. 3 times. Not because of testosterone, not because of heart disease, but because their nerves and blood vessels weren't functioning properly, and B12 is essential to both. That's not just about sex. That's about confidence, identity, and feeling alive. Why you might not know you're deficient. Here's the most dangerous part. B12 deficiency is often missed by doctors. Why? Because it develops slowly. Blood levels might still look okay, even when your body is already struggling. And the symptoms mimic so many other things: depression, dementia, stress, burnout. So, unless a doctor is specifically looking for it or you ask, they might not catch it. And let's be real, when was the last time someone said, "Hey, maybe your low energy is because of a vitamin"? That's why I'm saying it now. How to fix it, safely and effectively. So how do you refill the tank? For most men over 50, I recommend starting with 500 to 1,000 micrograms of vitamin B12 daily. But here's where you need to be smart for matters. Look for methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin. These are the active forms of B12. Your body can use them immediately. Avoid cyanocobalamin. It's synthetic. Your liver has to convert it first, and many older men struggle with that process. Also, skip the pills you swallow. As we mentioned, your gut may not be absorbing B12 well. Instead, use a sublingual B12, the kind you place under your tongue, and let dissolve. That way, it bypasses your digestive system and goes straight into your bloodstream. It's simple, it's effective, and it works fast. Food sources? Not always enough. Now you might be thinking, I eat meat, I should be fine. In theory, yes. But again, if your stomach acid is too low to extract B12 from food, it doesn't matter how much steak you eat, it just passes through. Organ meats like liver are excellent sources. But let's be honest, how often are you really eating liver? Other good sources include grass-fed beef, wild, caught fish, eggs, dairy. But even with those, you'd have to eat a lot, consistently, to make up for poor absorption. That's why most men over 50 benefit from supplementing, not instead of food but alongside it. What you might notice. Here's the beautiful part. When you restore your B12 levels, you feel it. Not in a loud, fireworks kind of way, but in quiet victories. You wake up sharper. Your mind feels clearer. Your mood evens out. Tasks don't feel as heavy. Your drive, yes, that drive starts to come back. It's like someone gently turned the lights back on inside you. And for some men, those changes happen within days or weeks. So here's my question for you. If your car wouldn't start, you'd check the battery. If your phone was dead, you'd charge it. So why, when your body feels low, do we not check for the spark plug? Vitamin B12 is small. It's silent. But it may be the key to restarting something you thought was lost. You don't need more hustle. You don't need more caffeine. You might just need more B12. And the road back to energy, clarity, and confidence, it's not as long as you think. Ready to go one step further? In the next segment, we'll talk about vitamin C, not just for colds, but for blood flow, recovery, and managing stress like a pro. Stay with me. Your health story is just getting good. Let's start with a little confession. When most of us think of vitamin C, we think of colds. Maybe orange juice. Maybe your mum handing you chewable tablets during flu season. But here's the truth that almost no one talks about. Vitamin C has almost nothing to do with just fighting colds. Its real power, especially for men over 40, is in what it does below the surface. It's one of the most important allies you've got for blood flow, hormone protection, and stress regulation. And if you're not getting enough of it daily, it might explain why you've been feeling off. Not sick, just not yourself. Vitamin C and collagen, the body's inner framework. Let's go beneath the skin for a moment. Vitamin C plays a central role in the production of collagen, a word we usually associate with skincare ads and wrinkle creams. But collagen isn't just cosmetic. It's structural. It helps keep your blood vessels strong and flexible. Think of it as the inner scaffolding of your arteries. Without enough collagen, your blood vessels become brittle, inflamed, and more prone to damage, especially under pressure. And where does collagen come from? Your body needs vitamin C to make it. No C, no structure. Now pause and think, how's your circulation lately? Cold hands? Tingly feet? Slower recovery after workouts? Maybe even some issues in the bedroom that you weren't ready to talk about? Yeah, it's all connected. Enter nitric oxide, the flow enhancer. But here's where vitamin C truly earns its title as a circulation booster. It plays a crucial role in helping your body produce nitric oxide, a natural compound that tells your blood vessels to relax and open up. Imagine the difference between sipping water through a narrow straw and a wide one. That's nitric oxide in action. More nitric oxide means better blood flow to your muscles, more oxygen to your brain, faster recovery after exercise, and yes, improved sexual performance and response. There's a study that illustrates this beautifully. Men over 60 were given 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily for 8 weeks. What happened? They didn't just report better energy. They didn't just feel more mentally clear. They experienced noticeable improvement in sexual performance, mood, and even physical endurance. Not through testosterone therapy, not through pills with side effects, through vitamin C taken consistently, in the right amount. The stress link. Cortisol versus confidence. Let's pivot to something more invisible, but just as dangerous: chronic stress. Modern life is a pressure cooker. Deadlines, bills, news cycles, family expectations, social media, aging parents, teenagers, you name it. When we're under constant pressure, our bodies produce a hormone called cortisol, your stress signal. It helps in short bursts, but when elevated for too long, it starts to erode everything. High cortisol lowers testosterone, disrupts sleep, increases belly fat, weakens immunity, and drains your drive physically and mentally. So where does vitamin C come in? Turns out, vitamin C helps regulate cortisol levels. It supports your adrenal glands, which are in charge of stress response. When you're getting enough C, your body can bounce back from stress more gracefully. Without enough, your fuse gets shorter, your sleep gets worse, your patience, libido, and energy start slipping. You may look okay on the outside, but inside, the stress is quietly wearing you down. Are you getting enough? Now here's the thing, vitamin C isn't stored in your body. It's water-soluble, which means you have to get it fresh every single day. And most people? They don't come close. The recommended range for men over 40 is 1,000 to 2,000 milligrams per day, but that's not something you can hit with one orange. To give you some perspective, one orange has about 70 milligrams of vitamin C. A red bell pepper, about 150 milligrams. A handful of berries, maybe 60-90 milligrams. So unless you're eating multiple servings of colorful fruits and veggies every day, you probably need to supplement. Smart supplementing. Get the right kind. If you choose to take a supplement, and I recommend most men over 45 do, here's how to do it wisely. Split your dose. Don't take 2,000 milligrams all at once. Your body can only absorb so much in a single shot. Split it into 2-3 doses throughout the day for steady benefits. Look for bioflavonoids. These natural plant compounds help increase absorption and offer antioxidant support of their own. Consider buffered vitamin C. If you've got a sensitive stomach, look for buffered C combined with calcium or magnesium. It's gentler and easier on digestion. Don't replace food, add to it. Keep eating those bell peppers, broccoli, strawberries, kiwi, and dark leafy greens. Whole foods bring in other cofactors that your body recognizes and uses well. You might be wondering, so what will I feel when my vitamin C is actually doing its job? You may start to notice more mental clarity during stressful days, less crashing after long work sessions, faster post-workout recovery, a calmer, more centered version of yourself. And, for some men, a return of sexual confidence they thought had faded for good. And here's the beautiful irony. The vitamin you dismissed as just cold prevention might quietly be restoring your strength, your focus, and your flow. You know, when your car isn't running right, it's rarely just one thing. The engine might be strong, but if the fuel's bad or the pipes are clogged, performance drops. No matter how much horsepower you've got under the hood, it won't matter if the whole system isn't working together. Your body is exactly the same. And after 50, you don't need louder alarms, you need better alignment. That's where vitamin D, 3, B, 12, and C come in. 3 simple nutrients. 3 quiet players. But when they work together, they become the core system that powers your energy, circulation, and confidence from the inside out. Let me walk you through what I call the high-performance human engine. D3, the engine's drive system. We talked about this earlier, but let's return to the foundation. Vitamin D3 is like your ignition coil. Without it, your body struggles to produce testosterone, and that means low drive, low mood, and low spark. Testosterone isn't just about libido. It's about showing up fully physically, mentally, emotionally. Low D3? You may still function, but it's like trying to tow a trailer in second gear. Sluggish, frustrated, disconnected from your edge. Optimal D3 levels don't just raise testosterone, they revive you. They restore the emotional click between mind and muscle, the kind of quiet motivation that gets you out of bed without groaning. B12, the cellular fuel. Now imagine this. The engine's ready, the tank is full, but there's no combustion happening inside the cylinders. The spark doesn't connect with the fuel. That's where vitamin B12 steps in. It's the spark plug at the cellular level. B12 allows your cells to convert nutrients into energy, real, usable energy that powers every muscle, every neuron, every beat of your heart. Without it, you can eat the best diet, sleep 8 hours, do everything right, and still feel like a drained phone battery. That's the frustration many men feel. They're doing the work, but getting no return. Why? Because their cells are starving for activation, not calories. B12 provides that ignition. And it also supports your nervous system, which means clearer thoughts, steadier moods, and better nerve signaling where it counts. Yes, there, too. Vitamin C, the delivery system. Now picture this. Your engine is roaring. Your cells are charged. But the pipes carrying fuel to the cylinders are corroded, brittle, or clogged. Your body faces the same challenge: circulation. That's where vitamin C plays its master role. C doesn't just help immunity, it protects your blood vessels, helps you produce collagen, and increases nitric oxide, the key chemical that relaxes and opens your arteries. Good blood flow means energy gets delivered where it's needed. Oxygen reaches your brain and muscles. Hormones can travel freely, and your body responds faster, recovers better, and performs with more ease. In other words, vitamin C is like the clean fuel line that makes sure everything else you've built gets to where it needs to go. Without it, your energy might be trapped, your drive misdirected. You might have the fire, but it never gets delivered. Why they work best together. Here's what's fascinating. Most men supplement in isolation. They hear about D3 and take a pill. Later, they feel tired and try B12. Eventually, someone mentions C, so they add that too. But few ever understand the system these 3 form together. Think of it like this. D3 gives you the engine. B12 fires up the fuel inside. Vitamin C clears the road. It's the same reason why a sports car with 600 horsepower still needs clean oil, balanced tires, and tuned suspension to win a race. Each of these vitamins supports the other's effectiveness. D3 raises testosterone, which increases your body's need for energy. B12 meets that need. B12 boosts nerve health, which improves blood flow and energy response. Vitamin C protects that system. C reduces cortisol, which can preserve testosterone, creating a feedback loop with D3. They don't just complement each other. They amplify each other. And the result? You stop feeling like a man running on backup power and start feeling like the driver of your own health again. A real-world analogy. Let me put it in real-life terms. Imagine your younger years were like driving a classic Camaro. Loud, raw, spontaneous power. You didn't think about your health because everything just worked. But now, the same engine is still there, but time, wear, and neglect have crept in. What you need isn't a new car. You just need a system reboot. A spark plug that fires reliably, B12. A power core that reignites your instincts, D3. A delivery system that keeps everything flowing, C. You're not broken. You're just out of tune. And the tools to realign yourself? They're shockingly simple and sitting quietly on a supplement shelf near you. What to do starting today? If you've stuck with me this far, here's your simple action plan. 1. Get your vitamin D levels checked. Aim for 40-60 ng/ml for optimal testosterone support. 2. Start taking a high-quality B12. Look for methylcobalamin or adenosylcobalamin sublingual, 500-1000 mg daily. 3. Add 1000-2000 mg of vitamin C per day. Preferably split into 2 doses. Choose buffered or with bioflavonoids for better absorption. 4. Watch how you feel not just physically, but mentally. Energy, confidence, motivation, mood, circulation, it's all tied together. P5. Let's say you're ready. You've listened, you've learned. You believe that maybe, just maybe, your fatigue, fog, and fading drive aren't just aging, but something deeper, something fixable. So now the question is simple. Where do I start? Because in the world of health, good information is only half the battle. The other half? Implementation. Turning knowledge into rhythm. Turning vitamins into a way of living, not just another bottle gathering dust on the shelf. And in this part of our journey together, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Step 1. Test, don't guess. Let's begin where all real change begins. Awareness. Before you reach for a supplement, get a blood test. Specifically, a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test and a vitamin B12 blood panel. Why? Because everyone's baseline is different, and in health, more isn't always better. You want to know exactly where your body stands so you can target your support, not shoot in the dark. The good news? These tests are widely available, usually covered by insurance, and cost-effective if you're paying out of pocket. When you get those numbers, don't just ask if they're normal. Ask if they're optimal. There's a big difference. You're not aiming to just survive. You're aiming to thrive. Step 2. Don't overwhelm yourself. Start small. A lot of people get inspired and go all in. They buy 5 bottles of supplements, rearrange their kitchen, and try to change everything in one day. And then they burn out. Why? Because the body and the mind resist chaos. Instead, I want you to start with just one vitamin. Maybe it's vitamin D3. Maybe it's B12. Pick one, begin there, and give it 2 weeks. This is more than just about physiology. It's about developing a relationship with your body. By starting slow, you'll be able to clearly feel which supplement brings what effect. Is your sleep better? Is your focus sharper? Are your mornings lighter? When we start slow, we start aware, and awareness is what builds habits that last. Step 3. Make it a ritual, not a chore. Let me tell you something important. Taking vitamins is only effective if you take them consistently. And consistency, for most of us, depends on routine. So here's the secret: don't treat this like medication. Treat it like a morning ritual, a quiet moment that belongs only to you. Maybe you take your D3 with your first cup of coffee. Maybe your B12 stays beside your toothbrush. Maybe your vitamin C is always taken right before that mid-morning stretch. The point is, link the habit to something that already exists. That's how it sticks. You don't need more willpower, you need less friction. Make your vitamin time sacred. Even if it's just 30 seconds, let it be a symbol. This is me showing up for my future self. Step 4. Be patient. True change takes time. We live in an age of 48-hour shipping, 10-minute workouts, and 5-second dopamine hits. But your body, your biology, it's ancient. It runs on rhythm, not rush. That's why I always tell people, give it at least 4 to 6 weeks. It might be frustrating at first. You might wonder if it's working. But just like planting a seed, the roots take shape before the leaves ever show. Here's what to look for. Subtle shifts in energy throughout the day. Less crashing in the afternoons. A steadier mind. An easier time falling asleep and staying asleep. And one day, without warning, you feel like yourself again. Maybe even better. Don't quit in week 2. The version of you that's waiting on the other side, he's worth it. Step 5. Safety first. Don't guess. Don't overdo. Now let's talk safety, because even natural things can go wrong when used carelessly. These 3 vitamins, D3, B12, and C, are generally safe for most people. But if you are on blood thinners, have kidney or liver conditions, or take medications that affect nutrient absorption, talk to your doctor first. It's not a formality, it's protection. Also, stick to the recommended dosages. D3, 2,000, 4,000 IU daily. B12 to 500, 1,000 mg, preferably in sublingual form. Vitamin C, 1,000, 2,000 mg day, split into smaller doses. More doesn't always mean better. Sometimes more just means waste, or worse, side effects. And remember, supplements are support, not shortcuts. They work best when combined with real food, daily movement, deep sleep, and a mindset that says, I matter enough to care for myself. If you take one thing from this entire series, let it be this. The way you show up for your body sets the tone for how you show up for life. Because when you feel clear, steady, and strong, everything changes. Your work flows better. Your relationships become more present. Your mind feels grounded. And your spirit, it starts to shine again. So, don't overthink it. Just start. Small, daily, consistently. Let it be your quiet act of rebellion against aging like everyone else. Because you're not fading. You're recalibrating. And the best part? It starts today with a simple routine, a few honest minutes, and the belief that your health isn't behind you, it's still in your hands. Let me say something you don't hear often enough. Taking care of your health after 60 is not about chasing youth. It's not about pretending you're 25 again. It's not about erasing the years or denying the truth of aging. It's about something far more powerful. It's about optimizing the body you live in now with all its wisdom, its mileage, and yes, its changing needs. Because here's the truth. Feeling tired all the time, losing your edge in the bedroom, waking up without energy or motivation, those things aren't just normal. They're often signs that your body is missing something small, but critical. And that's where the simplicity of it all becomes kind of beautiful. Just 3 vitamins. Vitamin D, 3, B12, and vitamin C, taken consistently and correctly, can rebuild what time has quietly chipped away. Not as a miracle, not as a hack, but as a daily act of restoration. Because when your hormones begin to rebalance, when your cells finally have the fuel they need, when your blood flows more freely and your mind feels clearer, you don't just feel better, you feel whole again. So no, this journey isn't about reversing the clock. It's about honoring where you are and unlocking the strength that's still very much there. You're not done. You're just ready to feel like yourself again. And now, you have the tools, the plan, and maybe the belief that it's still possible. So go easy, go steady, go consistently. And I'll see you healthier, stronger, and more alive in the days to come.